Let's import our 3D model and cameras that we got from Agisoft. For 3D modeling, I use 3ds Max. However, you can use any 3D software that is convenient for you. The creation process will be very similar in any 3D software. Right now, we see our model and a lot of cameras for each frame. Our task is to combine all these cameras into a single one that will move along the same trajectory. I use script that allows you to do this in a few clicks. I will attach it below the video. In order for everything to work, we need to create a camera, then select all the cameras from Agisoft, drag the script from the folder to the program viewport, and then select the camera we created. I also set the correct camera field of view to 97 degrees. This is how my GoPro 11 shoots. I select all cameras except the one we just created. Now I will drag our script from the folder into the viewport. And I will select the camera that we created. That's it. Now our camera will move along the correct trajectory. Let's extend our timeline to 389 frames in length. Unnecessary cameras can be deleted. Now we will rotate our model to a more convenient and understandable plane for us. I will create a point to which I will attach our 3D model and camera. Now I will rotate the point. Now I want to delete all unnecessary polygons that Agisoft created in our 3D model. To do this, I switch to the Edit Poly mode, select our general mesh, invert the selection using the keyboard shortcut Ctrl-I, and delete. Hooray, we're done with this part of the work for now. Now the most interesting part begins. Let's create a particle system that will involve our paper airplanes. For 3ds Max, I use Tyflow. I will attach a link to it in the description. We will not do anything complicated. If you are working in other software, the process will be similar. First, we need to add a birth operator to specify that particles should be born, and to give us control over the birth parameters. Next, we need to add a position icon operator and a helper icon, to specify where the particles should be born. Now, in the settings for the position icon operator, we need to choose which specific icon we want to use. We see that our particles are appearing. These are our future paper airplanes. We need to give them a direction of movement. To do this, I will create a spline along which they should move. To get the particles moving, we'll add a path follow operator and specify the spline we created in its settings. For greater clarity, I will model a simple paper airplane. The paper airplane is ready. Let's add a shape operator to load airplane models instead of points. And we will visualize them in the display operator. In the birth operator, we'll reduce the number of airplanes to prevent them from clumping together. As we can see now, the airplanes are turned in the wrong direction. Therefore, we will add a rotation operator and specify that they should be facing the direction of movement. The airplanes have turned to face the direction of movement, but they are still facing the wrong way. To fix this, we need to change the orientation of the model's axis. The airplanes are moving too fast and the attraction to the spline is not strong enough to keep them in place. To fix this, I'll add a slow operator. We can also experiment with the settings in the path follow operator to get the desired result. I would also like them to not only fly strictly along the given trajectory, but also have a slight chaos in their movement. To do this, I will add a force operator and create an imitation of wind using noise in its parameters. By playing with the settings of these operators, we can get a result that we like. Currently, there is no interaction between the airplanes. They can pass through each other. To fix this, we need to add a particle physics operator. Now, the airplanes will start repelling each other at a distance of 15 centimeters. After preset the airplanes, we can move it to our landscape geometry. I am tracing the camera's trajectory to create a spline that is similar to it. This is so that the airplanes will fly in the same direction as the camera. First, let's disable the simulation in Tyflow so that nothing lags. Then, we can move the spline and tie icon closer to the camera. After moving the elements, I want the paper airplanes to be in the scene from the first frame. To do this, I will set the birth operator to spawn the airplanes in the -200 frame. As we can see, the airplanes are upside down. We need to rotate them 180 degrees. To do this, we'll repeat the rotation of the model's axis. We're almost there. The only thing left to do is adjust the operator's settings to get the results we want. You can follow along with me or experiment with the values as you like. I noticed that some airplanes are penetrating the landscape and flying through it. We can't leave it like that, because in the final, such airplanes will be very jarring to the eye. I want to add an operator that says that when the airplane touches the landscape, it should be deleted.